Hi there traders, so continuing the series going over the currency strength and weakness trading ideas of the week ahead. So this is a little bit different to our week ahead analysis. Like I say in every video regarding the strength and weakness, this is just based off the currency strength and weakness analysis that I do on a weekly basis and some of the currencies to watch out for. So currency strength meter this week highlighting the strong currencies as the Australian dollar, the US dollar and the Canadian dollar. On the short side of things, it's shown us that we should be looking at the Japanese yen, the New Zealand dollar, and then we've got two reversal currencies, one being the Swiss franc, which was a strong currency. We can see it's +7 here, now +2. And then we've got the euro as a potential reversal currency being -5. Going into that -4 level as well. We can see that then reflected here on this chart or this line chart, the Swiss franc being this purple dotted line in here, the euro being this blue dotted line through there. So they're coming from these reversal zones. We can see how that affects other currencies in the past. You can see New Zealand dollar coming from those strong levels, and it's now become one of the weakest currencies. So what I'm trying to do is trying to find those potential reversal opportunities. So here we could look at maybe euro Swiss long ideas. Now I'm just going to avoid the euro mainly this week because of the political risk within the markets, and that's what I was going to kind of give a little disclaimer on in this video, is the fact that there's a lot of political risk coming up. So I'm going to focus on currencies that are not necessarily going to be largely impacted by that political risk. So I'm going to focus on the Japanese yen. Okay, we've been talking about yen weakness for so long now. I just thought I'd give you an update on what I'm doing with regards to the Japanese yen. So the currency pairs that I'm looking at going into this trading week: Aussie yen, okay, CAD yen, and the US dollar yen. Okay, so you can see I've basically put here bullish but potential signs of, well, not signs of reversal but potential reversal because of the where the yen is positioned in the market, and the same here. And I give this a traffic light system. So basically what I do is I go to the chart, I look at the weekly close, I look at where price is relative to the 50 daily moving average, I look at where price is relative to the momentum. So what I mean by that is, using the 50 moving average, is price moving towards the 50 moving average or is it moving away? So if it's moving away from the 50 moving average, it's the positive momentum. Stochastic oscillator, if that is in bullish territories, I like the idea of looking at that. And then daily trend and phase, and that just goes back to, is the market in a bullish phase essentially, or is it in a bearish phase if we're looking at downtrend moves? And then I give it a green light. If it's got a green light, I'm looking to potentially find opportunities on those markets. So let's kick it off with dollar yen. What's happening over on dollar yen? Well, you can see that we're in a very strong upward trend. Okay, the market is doing this because we have the US dollar, which is getting stronger. That's based off the fact that the Federal Reserve are not cutting interest rates. Okay, so they're not cutting rates. The Bank of Japan are not hiking rates. Okay, so the BOJ are not hiking rates. So you got a little bit of a different situation here where the Fed are holding rates higher for longer because they don't want to pull the trigger too soon and in the risk of inflation coming back. And then you've got the BOJ, they're just happy to let the yen continue to weaken to an extent. They don't want to see sharp yen weakness, okay, which I'm kind of looking at like we might get that a little bit over this week because of the political risk. But where is the trade? Where are the plays for yen pairs this week? Well, dollar yen for me, I'm looking for that intervention play. I want to see intervention because I think that breeds an opportunity for us to be buyers of dollar yen. So what I'm essentially looking for is I want to see prices of dollar yen move sharply higher because I think we'll get a sharp drop to the downside, very much like what we saw here. Okay, now what I'm trying to be is the buyer after that run, essentially. Okay, so my area of interest now, this is a daily chart, and I'm looking at 157. 157 because of the volume that was built essentially in this kind of triangle pattern, which we'll see across pretty much all of those yen pairs at the moment. So I'm looking for that area in there, 157. Now, moving on to Aussie yen, where could we look for opportunities? Very similar, we've got a bit of a triangle pattern here as well. Volume was being built towards the 104s. So from a daily chart perspective, I like the idea of price coming back to there before continuing higher. Now, in the short term, we may not get the intervention, right? So where's the sort of trade if we don't get interventions? Well, I'm looking at sort of the upward trend, and I'm trying to pick out sort of volume levels within the market. So we've got this area here, 106.80s or 107s that I quite like. We do have small volume being built at 107.40 where price might want to find some support as well. But that would be very, very short term. I'd be taking very low risk trades there in terms of my actual risk exposure, because I'm looking for the bigger move to the downside. But if we do get a move to 106, that could also be a place where buyers do step in the short term, as this is a 30-minute time frame. Okay, so that's my thoughts on Aussie yen. And then finally, CAD yen. I like the idea of being a buyer of the Canadian dollar. If you've been watching a lot of my videos, and I'm talking about the potential reports showing us extreme levels of buying from the commercials, that means to me, I want to be buying CAD. I want to be selling yen, obviously. So looking at CAD yen, broke above that sort of soft intervention there, 117.34 now, which was that big drop in here. I basically put a volume profile on this low to this high, and all the volume is being built down towards 114. So again, in the chance of an intervention, what we typically see is around a 500 pip move. So you know, 118 down to sort of 115 makes a lot of sense. If it were to happen, obviously, I don't know if it is or not, but if it was, that's what I'd particularly be looking for. Move back towards 115 for a rebound. On the short-term side of things, if you're looking to try and be a day trader of this, again, just identify where these pockets of volume are being built on the consolidations. You can see around about sort of 117.40 and below, down to sort of 117.20 is this zone of volume. If price was to get back to that, we might see a short-term burst higher. Again, I'd be taking very low-risk trades here because I'm looking for the intervention, where I just think, well, that's where the value is in trading these yen pairs at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching this video update. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that like button and subscribe if you are watching this for the first time and you are new to the channel. Thanks for watching. Speak to you soon.